Welcome to Write the World's Jumpstart Your College Essay course. I'm Janelle Milanes. I'm a published author and educator, and I've spent years mentoring students to help them achieve success in narrative writing and share their stories in the best light possible. I currently help lead the college essay and workshop programs here at Write the World. Founded in 2012 at Harvard University, Write the World has become the leading global writing platform for teens. Using pedagogical methods developed at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, we've helped thousands of students like you take their writing to the next level. We're so excited you're taking your first step toward crafting an essay that truly reflects who you are and what you're about. By the end of this video, you will crack the code of the college essay genre, discover your key ingredient, the essential component of every Common App essay question, and brainstorm essay topics that will make you an applicant admissions officers remember. All of our writing exercises and prompts can be found in our free supplemental Jumpstart workbook. We recommend that as you proceed in this course, you keep all of your ideas and responses in your workbook for easy access when it comes time to write your essay. Before we dive in, turn to the Introduction to Jumpstart section of your workbook. In this section, you'll think about your feelings regarding the college essay process and set your intentions for this course. You'll notice that each exercise in your workbook has a suggested time frame. Please keep in mind that there are no time limits for these activities. These are only estimates. You can take as much or as little time as you need. For this section, Introduction to Jumpstart, we estimate it takes about 10 minutes to complete. When you're ready, pause the video here to fill out that section in your workbook and press play to move on. Let's start today by examining the basics of the college essay genre. What exactly is it, and why does this matter as we think about writing our essays? A college essay uses storytelling to show the admissions team a slice of your life. It communicates what you have to offer a college community, or demonstrates your value. But above all else, the most important element of storytelling is reflection. Reflection is how we make meaning out of our life experiences. Each of you has something special to share with your future college community, and we don't just mean your grades or your test scores. The college essay transforms you from a bunch of numbers and metrics into a human being. It's a chance to show admissions officers who you really are at your core, what you care about, and how you hope to impact the world. As you continue this video, you'll dig deep into some of the most impactful parts of your life, uncovering ways that you have grown and changed in the process. We'll help you find the key ingredient that every college essay needs. So, let's get started. Writing a college essay can come with a massive amount of pressure, but let's reframe things a little bit. Instead of thinking about the college essay as something you have to endure or overcome or stress about, let's instead focus on the opportunity inherent in the process. Writing about ourselves in a meaningful way can provide us with insight into who we really are. In that spirit, this warm-up is intended to get you writing without worrying. Don't stress about the outcome or quality of writing or punctuation or grammar. Just get as many ideas down as possible. In a moment, you'll be asked to answer 15 questions. You don't have to complete these questions in sequence, so feel free to skip around and answer what most interests you. You may find that you won't have time to answer them all, and that's okay. Just answer as many as you can, even with just a one-sentence response. Here's an example of the type of question you'll see. What food or recipe has been passed down the generations in your family? I may jot down a few notes, some incomplete ideas. What immediately comes to mind is my grandmother's arroz con pollo. I think about how it's the only thing she knows how to cook, how she held down 2 jobs while raising children as a Cuban immigrant and didn't often have time to cook these elaborate meals. I think about how she used ketchup as her secret ingredient, which many gourmands would probably frown upon, but for me, it was an example of resourcefulness and making the most of what you actually have. From one question, I've developed some seeds of ideas for a future essay topic. At some point, I may want to develop these ideas further. I could tie in my grandmother's resourcefulness as something of value that was passed down to me in lieu of learning to actually cook arroz con pollo, or I may choose an entirely different idea after answering these questions. Now it's your turn to try. When you're ready, pause the video here and take 10 minutes to complete the idea search activity in your workbook. Press play when you're ready to continue. Nice job. Now that you've finished brainstorming, ask yourself, do any of these answers show something unique about me? Do any demonstrate my positive growth? If so, circle that answer, highlight it, whatever you like, to make a note to use it for future writing. Next, we'll look at pinpointing specific challenges and opportunities from your idea surge and scoping them out more fully. This next activity will help you focus on a particular challenge and then look at that experience through a lens of opportunity and growth. Admissions officers not only want to learn about you and your life, but how an experience has helped you to change and grow. Thinking about our life experiences in this way can deepen our own understanding and appreciation for what makes us who we are and why. Let's go through this activity called Challenges and Opportunities together. The first part of the activity asks, when you think back on your life, what challenges or changes have shaped who you are? A challenge or a change could be any number of things, from moving to a parent getting remarried, to starting at a new school or starting your first job, to the responsibilities of being an older sibling. I once wrote an entire essay about a flight I took to Spain and how nervous I was to order an orange juice in Spanish. It sounds so unmemorable and slightly ridiculous, but when I reflect on it, I see how it represents my internal struggles as a Cuban American who does not speak perfect Spanish, and how challenging it is to feel caught between these two identities, these two cultures, and not fully feel a part of either. One of our college essay advisors wrote about how she hated getting her hair brushed as a little kid, and then expanded this single personal detail into a narrative about her relationship with her sick mom. There are so many small moments that can be impactful in the way that they change your perspective or help you come to a better understanding of yourself. As you brainstorm, remember that being vulnerable is actually a way of showing your strength. You're demonstrating that you have the maturity to reflect and learn lessons from past experiences. It's also worth noting here that challenges don't need to be monumental or tragic events. Of course, you're free to write about heavier topics if you would like to, but first ask yourself, am I in a position to reflect on this challenge yet? And if the answer is no, then tuck that experience away to write about in the future. Challenges can come in many forms. You can find something meaningful in a moment that others might view as ordinary or mundane. It's not so much what you write about, but how you write about it. When you're ready, pause this video here, turn to the Challenges and Opportunities section of your workbook, and take 5 minutes to come up with 3 challenges in your life. Then, press play to continue working through the activity together. How did that feel? What challenges stood out to you about your life? If you didn't come up with 3 challenges, I recommend going back to the activity and taking some more time. You can look back on your previous answers from our ideas surge as well. Perhaps there's a challenge embedded in the ideas that you jotted down. Now, let's step back and identify the opportunity in each challenge. What do we mean by opportunity? Ask yourself, what did I learn about myself through each of these 3 experiences? In what ways did I grow? How did I or my perspective change? Maybe practicing my Spanish to order an orange juice helped me work up the courage to improve myself, to let go of the expectation that there's a right way to be Cuban. Take a few minutes to jot down some ideas on the opportunities that your challenges afforded you. Then when you're ready, we'll learn how to unlock your key ingredients and wow admissions officers. We just explored different facets of our identity and brainstormed to get our creativity flowing. We also learned more about the college essay genre and the essential components of the common application essay. Now we'll be pinpointing your key ingredient, the secret sauce to impress admissions officers. Again, we recommend that as you go, you keep all of your ideas and responses to our activities in our free downloadable Jumpstart notebook. Before we dive in, let's start with some advice from Liz Sharon, the Associate Director for Admissions at Northeastern University. She says, essays should be self-reflective. This is the difference between a good essay and a great essay. Most applicants can tell a story with their essay, but many will miss the part of the question that asks them to relate that topic back to themselves. The story gives us context, but the second part is the most vital. It is an opportunity for the student to demonstrate an awareness of their ability to learn from and be shaped by personal experiences. Let's take a moment to compare what Liz said with a few of the Common App essay questions themselves. As we read, consider the significance of the bolded words. What are they asking for? Example number 1. The lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you and what did you learn from the experience? Example number 2. Reflect on something that someone has done for you that has made you happy or thankful in a surprising way. How has this gratitude affected or motivated you? And example number 3, discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself or others. So what might these bold words have in common? If you notice that they each ask the applicant to reflect on an experience, you're correct. We've only looked at 3 of the 7 essay prompts here, but all of them contain a reflective quality. We want to avoid a college essay that lacks purpose or reads like a resume. Self-reflection truly is so critical, not only in a college essay, but in life. The practice of writing self-reflectively can help us better understand ourselves and the world around us, and we'll be exploring that together in a moment. But first, what exactly is reflection? Here are 4 ways of making sense of reflection's role in the college essay. Reflection should do one or more of the following. 1. Make sense of an experience after the fact by looking back on what happened and analyzing its meaning. 2. Explain something's significance or importance. 3. Describe how an experience has changed you or what it has taught you. 4. Invite admissions officers into your mind, your perspective, and show them how you make sense of the world. Writing reflection into an essay, integrating it within description or scene or dialogue, can be quite challenging. So, we're going to play a game. This game is called Rate That Reflection. Here's how it works. In a moment, you'll see a passage on the screen plucked from a real college essay. Each passage is the second half of the essay, and each passage showcases excellent writing and interesting topics, but the reflection element varies. I want you to think about how you would rate these reflections on a scale of 1 to 10 based on the criteria we just mentioned. 1. Does the essay make sense of an experience after the fact, looking back on what happened to analyze its meaning? 2. Does the essay explain something's significance or importance? 3. Does the essay describe how an experience has changed the applicant or what it has taught them? And 4. Does the essay invite admissions officers into the applicant's mind, their perspective, and show how the applicant makes sense of the world? Before starting, note that all of these samples contain strong writing and compelling stories. The challenge here is to zoom in on the reflection and rate its quality, as that is the key ingredient. Essay 1. Context. This applicant is writing about how taking a summer job across the country as a trash collector in a vacation community was a liberating and informative experience. My day started at the crack of dawn, long before the vacationers in the area would even consider waking up. I was free from the confines of the classroom walls, free from the nagging of my parents. It was just me and the open road. The trash itself was a lens through which I saw what was going on in Chatham. I saw American flags and spent fireworks on the 5th of July. The worst stops of the day were the dumpsters at Fish Piers, which had a stronger stench than the Chatham Transfer Station, an industrial building where we dumped the day's load before it was transported to a landfill miles away. At one boat fabrication shop, a dangerous combination of sawdust and reactive chemicals caused a small fire in the truck. There are very few similarities that one could find between my classmates at High Tech High and my customers in Chatham. The kids in my class were from diverse backgrounds and cultural groups all over San Diego. The summer vacation crowd in Chatham was almost exclusively white and wealthy. The one thing that unified them, at least in my mind, was that they were not willing to take on my job. When my classmates thought about applying for jobs, they were thinking about air-conditioned movie theaters and retail stores, not backbreaking manual labor. I've considered going into a field relevant to the management of waste, like civil engineering, but I think I may also pursue another passion of mine, like criminal law or political science. I know that no matter what path I choose, this experience will be part of how I end up there. How would you rate the reflection on this essay? For me, this essay scores around a 6 or 7. The writer has chosen an interesting topic and provided rich detail. However, we're left wondering about the inner life of the writer. Why did they choose to do this job? There are glimpses of reflection throughout the essay. The writer mentions that the trash was a lens through which they saw what was going on in Chatham, and points out the similarities and differences between their classmates and their customers. The writer doesn't expand on this much, though, and there isn't an explanation as to why they were willing to take on this job when no one else would. This is, after all, what sets the writer apart from the others. There is potential for reflection in the last paragraph of the essay as well, The writer talks about considering a field relevant to waste management or something else entirely. They then write, "No matter what path I choose, this experience will be part of how I end up there." But the writer doesn't really connect the dots for the reader on how this experience has shaped them and their choice of field in the future. Essay number 2, Context. This applicant is writing about the role libraries played in her life when her family was experiencing homelessness and her mother was looking for employment. Now, in her senior year of high school, she holds a part-time job as a specialist at the library. When we had nowhere to live, we would spend hours at the library using what I thought to be the key to the world, library computers. Whether it was at our childhood library or the library 40 miles away by the farm where we were staying, the library was this stability. Sitting behind the service desk today, I see and hear it all. The little girl begging to check out Junie B. Jones, the boys playing Roblox on the computer, the woman filing her taxes, the call from sports guy asking for the latest results. I hear Spanish, English, Somali. I get the usual rule breakers, kids running out of breath to the desk asking, "Can I have a guest pass?" At first, the slowly printed receipt is just a number, but I soon realize it is much more. I was once saying, "My mom forgot her card," or "When does the library close?" or "Can I use the phone?" Back then, I was the patron on the computer, the kid in the reading area. Now I am the specialist at the desk looking up the forgotten library cards. Sitting at the desk does not make me forget my past, it helps me embrace it. The library gives people access to a resource that opens doors in one way for one person and in others for the next. Even after my mom got a job, the library remained a source of security and comfort. By working at a place that gave me so much, I have learned to give back. I now have the opportunity to open the library to others, just as it was opened up to me. How would you rate the reflection on this essay? I would give this essay a score of 9 or 10. The writer clearly reflects on how the library impacted her in the past and uses that to explain why it continues to be important for her, as well as to explain her current position working in the library. We get a sense of what else she learned. The library was a source of stability for her growing up, as it continues to be for others in the present. She's now in a position to provide that stability and security for other people. This key line from the author, "Sitting at the desk does not make me forget my past, it helps me embrace it," demonstrates how the author has reflected on her past, recognized its impact on her, and now brings value to the lives of others in her community. Let's take a look at our final essay. Essay 3, Context. This applicant is writing about her family's nightly dinners together and how they changed over time as her older sisters moved out and her grandmother died of lung cancer. After my grandmother died, Pap and I, with the remnants of our non-traditional American family, built an extra non-traditional American family. It took a while before we stabilized ourselves because, to be honest, we were low income before Grandma got cancer, but post-cancer was much worse. Pap and I cut down on everything. We got rid of our cable, phone, and internet. We used less oil, we used less water, we wasted less food, and at times we didn't have a car because our minivan took up a bunch of gas and liked to break down frequently. But despite a dreadfully boring Wi-Fi-less and phoneless year, we made it through. I still live in the same house, except now it has Wi-Fi. Our kitchen table is still standing, though we took the centerpiece of wood out, so now it's the perfect size for just the two of us. We don't have nightly dinners anymore, but sometimes Pap and I sit on the couch and hang out. Sure, maybe our coffee table chats aren't the same as our nightly family dinners, and maybe our television doesn't turn on anymore. Maybe our kitchen has ants, and maybe we have to listen to the Super Bowl on our outdated radio from the 90s. And maybe, possibly, he is getting sicker now too. I don't care that my new life revolves around a holy old couch, a grumpy old man, a couple of fat cats, and a bearded dragon. I'm content with my Pap, and I'm content with the fact that every night at 7 p.m., 2 empty chairs surround my old, dirty, warm brown dinner table in the darkness of my kitchen. These days, the lights are on in the living room. What is your reflection rating on this final essay? My score would be about a 4 or 5. This might appear to be a low score, and there is a lot of subtle reflective work done in this well-written piece, but it would benefit greatly from more explicit reflection. While we get a peek into the writer's life, we don't get a sense of the significance of these events in the writer's growth. We can surmise that they've taught her to process loss and to stay present in the moment, but ideally there should be a couple of lines or a specific example that would help to illustrate this. While this essay does well narrating an experience, it doesn't give adequate attention to making sense of that experience and relaying its message to its reader. Remember, while you can and should use your college essay to showcase your writing skills, the key ingredient will take your essay from good to great. Keep watching to learn more about how you can find your key ingredient through reflection. And remember, when you're ready to start drafting your college essay from start to finish, check out our Complete Your College Essay course. In this course, we'll guide you step by step through the college essay process. By the end, you'll walk away with an authentic personal statement you'll be proud to submit to any college you choose. All right, now it's your turn to engage in some self-reflection. We'll first look back at the brainstorming you did and then turn some of those ideas into a written reflection by responding to a series of questions. First, take a moment to revisit your responses to the idea surge and challenges and opportunities prompts. Take note of anything that stands out to you as significant in shaping who you are. Pause here if you need to have more time to look over your ideas. Now step back. Out of all the ideas you generated through these 2 exercises, what do you want to explore further in writing? Which one has led to change, growth, and learning in some way? If I'm thinking back on my previous ideas, I would consider which one I'm most drawn to. I briefly mentioned my grandmother's arroz con pollo recipe and what cooking it can represent about me and my family. I also have my flight to Spain and my anxiety over speaking Spanish when I was years out of practice. Both of these ideas have potential and they could all become great essays with proper reflection. For the purpose of this example, I'll choose my flight to Spain. I feel it might be easiest to make my own, to insert elements of description and dialogue by focusing on one specific moment, and to reflect on how this experience helped me turn my insecurity into a strength. After you've picked a topic to work with, go to the section of your workbook called Your Key Ingredient. Let's look over the prompt together. The questions we'll ask you are designed to help you discover your own key ingredient, aka reflection. The prompt begins with, in 2 to 3 sentences, sum up the experience you've chosen to write about. For example, during a flight to Spain, I find myself struggling to speak my forgotten first language. My anxiety culminates when the flight attendant approaches me to take my drink order. Describe your experience as succinctly as possible. Later, you can work on mining it for details and meaning in your future essay. The prompt then continues, describe how you, your personality, sense of ethics, priorities, etc., have been changed by this experience. How are you different now compared to how you were before? Do you see the world differently? Do you understand yourself in a different way? What values did you gain? On the surface of my topic, it's a moment in which I felt anxiety. Well, if I dive deeper into that anxiety, I can examine where it comes from and its effect on me. How can I turn a moment of weakness into something of value? The perceived weakness in that moment helps me come to a place of greater self-acceptance. I have learned since then to embrace imperfection because there is no perfect representation of what a Cuban American should be or should sound like. No one is more or less worthy of their heritage. Think about your experience as a before and after. How would you describe your shift in personality or perspective since going through it? Number 3, based on this experience of challenge and growth, what do you have to offer the college community you'll be joining? Is it something about your perspective or your values or your goals? You probably won't state this explicitly in your essay, but your chosen topic and the way you reflect on the experience should in some way imply what you have to offer your future college community. When you're ready, pause the video here and take 10 minutes to complete the idea search activity in your workbook. Press play when you're ready to continue. I would flesh this out further in my essay, but I'd probably write something about how not feeling fully Cuban or fully American has helped me to embrace this kind of nebulous, imperfect area and to carve out my own unique identity. The feeling that I'm caught between 2 worlds has allowed me a window into both and a uniquely blended perspective that would add value to a college community. How can our challenges serve us? How can it be an asset to us in the college community and beyond? It's your turn now. Turn to the Your Key Ingredient prompt in your workbook. Go through the list of questions and reflect on how your own experience has shaped you. The work you've done today is just the beginning, looking inward and identifying a challenge or an experience in your life that shows a college how you'll bring something to campus that no one else can. So where do you take it from here? As you start writing your college essay in full, we invite you to join us for our next course, Complete Your College Essay. Through a series of self-reflective writing exercises and interactive prompts, Write the World will guide you every step of the way from start to finish. Rather than staring at a blank page, you'll unlock the next level of your key ingredient, unearth a strong essay with a clear storyline, and walk away with your fully drafted, standout personal statement in hand that is perfectly you. The writing and revising tools gained in this course are also designed to serve you throughout your college career and beyond. Next, are you looking for on-demand feedback from an expert college advisor? We got you. In addition to our courses, we also offer personalized college essay reviews, in which you can have a college essay editor on your side anytime, anywhere. Once you submit a college essay draft to us, no matter the condition, no matter the word count, you'll receive a personalized comprehensive feedback report within 48 hours. If you found this course helpful or have suggestions on what you'd like to see from us in the future, we would love to hear from you. Please email workshops@writetheworld.com. You're now one step closer to crafting a stellar personal narrative. Great work. We'll see you next time as you continue your college essay journey.